Welcome to Sissues. We are two sisters with issues and a need to work them out, and we're inviting you along for the ride.
Here we are taking the big things we have in common. Our love for Outlander, inappropriate humor, and why people do the things they do. Mix this up with our dirty lady mo's, and this podcast is born.
But don't worry, we'll explore other issues too.
Because you know,
when you have sisters, you have issues.
If you are easily offended or don't appreciate the creative use of colorful Canadian cursive language, this is not the podcast for you.
Well, welcome back to Sissues, everybody!
Oh, there she goes, right up to that high pitch that you all must love and enjoy.
Listen, I have missed you, and it just feels like it's been a while. Not a while for them, but kind of a little while for us. So,
and they must notice when we're doing this, and we mention something that is a current event for us, but they're like, that happened like last month.
I know, right?
Or like 2 months ago, and like, yeah, we pre-record these quite a ways ahead of time.
Yes, so. Yeah, just a little bit. And we try to avoid doing that, talking about current events and working it in, but hey, sometimes shit happens.
Right. We just like I know we had an episode air just recently where we were like, Diana's not even finished the book yet. And she finished it. Publication date is November 23rd. It's going to be on the shelves. Yay!
So excited. And we have our signed copy waiting for us. Well,
coming from the Poisoned Pen.
Yes.
The Poisoned Pen in Arizona. So that is really, really exciting. Thank you, sister, for doing that.
I'm so excited. It will be really my first official by Diana's book, because the rest was a freaking tongue twister. Well, because I got all my other books secondhand, right? So because I was trying to catch up. So this is my real support Diana in making her books purchase.
You're still having a really difficult time with your words.
Don't understand. It's probably because I haven't had to use them in a while.
Your mouth sounds are having a very difficult time coming out of your mouth hole.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys. So season 4, episode 7, Down the Wabbit Hole.
Oh, Wabbit. Wascally Wabbit.
Sure. Did you want to
count this episode? I loved it. And see, what I really like about us doing these watch parties is that the first time a lot of the fans watched the show, they had the opportunity to pick it apart or, dislike what the writers did here or didn't like that they added this in or took this out. And they were able to get all of that stuff,
Yeah.
And then after they did rewatches, then sometimes their attitudes changed about it, which I really liked. And now we get to watch it kind of in the same respect. And I can go back and talk about the things that people didn't like or did like. Yeah. And I just still I always watched it with that, the show is the show, the book is the book kind of deal.
Right.
And now I can have a little bit more fun with, with the rewatch. And yeah. I just realized something. I was like, wow, you sound really different today.
Why? Oh, sister, you need to plug in your headphones.
I just showed her my
end of her headphone
plugs. It's not, my headphone isn't plugged in. So she's sounding really muffled, and there we go.
And you could not have said that prior to us hitting the record button. We're supposed to be professionals here, damn it.
I think we all know that ain't a thing.
Yeah, exactly. All right, count us down.
I'm going to count us down. When I hit 1, you guys are going to hit play. We are set at around 46 seconds in because we, of course, skip the recap and go right to the music. So we are going to go 3, 2, 1.
Oh, I guess I should turn the volume down to that.
You can do whatever you want.
I know. Well, that way I can hear you, because if I left temperature. If I left the volume where it was, I wouldn't have been able to hear you at all. So
there you go with your old mouth sounds. This is going to be an interesting day, I think.
But I'm
with you.
excited because Brianna's gone through the stones. Roger's left on the other side. Like, oh my God, what are we going to do?
What are we going to do? Like, she hasn't watched it 43 times.
Yeah, but it's different though when you're sitting here talking about it, right? And just like you had said before, you know, when people have read the Outlander books and then all of a sudden it becomes a series, they anticipate that it's going to be the same, right?
For sure.
And it's not, because it's made for drama TV and they use it as a backbone of the story, right?
Right. And another thing is that the TV show is 100% focused on Jamie and Claire. They're your central characters. Everything else revolves around them. And a lot of people have a very difficult time with that. Like people that are, you know, Brianna and Roger fans, or, you know, and that's just the way it is. Like they want the story to take a shift and go to Brianna and Roger, or, you know, something like that. Whereas the show will always be, and that's not because I said it. It's because that's what the showrunners say. And that's what, you know, that's how the story was developed in the first place. It's a story about Jamie and Claire.
Well, and they just finished showing Brianna making a peanut butter sandwich because she was in her brown little florally dress. So,
and that was a nod to the books as well, because Claire had made a peanut butter and jam sandwich and brought it through the stones with her, and wrapped it in plastic wrap, and we'll see that again later on.
Yeah.
But she's wearing a little gingham dress.
And just wandering through the mountains, the highlands.
Yep. Yep.
But she's got
a little map.
Yeah. Very old map. And she needed it for back then because it wasn't.
Yep. She would need like more of a topographical map.
And poor Brianna.
I remember what a topographical map is. You got to give me a pat on the back for that.
Well done, sister. Well done.
Thank you.
Well, it's funny, you know, Brianna hasn't been in Scotland very long. And then just all of a sudden, poof, she's hurt.
Yep.
It's like, you know, she has luck like her mother.
Yep. Yep. Doesn't take her long to, you know.
No.
And this was, you know, a lot of people were like, Brianna's not stupid. She, you know, would have fashioned out a walking stick or something like that. And, you know, she might have, she probably would have, but that's just, you know, sometimes you just have to go along with the story and the deal and the, you know.
Yeah. Well, right there, I don't see any trees anyway.
No, there are none. Right, and
remember,
anyway.
She's really focused on one thing right now, right? Is getting to that road and
finding her mother.
Yeah.
That's
so I
number one priority.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it must be really cool for her. Well, see, she's smart there. She knows to bring down the swelling, put it, you know, in cool water. She also knows that she's running out of daylight as well.
Yeah.
So, you know, she's taking these few minutes to do what she can, but then she's got to get back on the road.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, that would be fucking cold, man.
It's making me chilly. Where's my Jamie blanket? Oh, it's over there.
Oh, can't get it. Where's Kevin? Kevin?
He's in the other room.
Chop, chop, Kevin. Chop, chop.
Got it. I got my Jamie blanket.
There you go. And see, that's, you know, she's limping. And everybody's like, can't believe she's just limping down the road. She should have a walking stick. Yeah, okay. Well, you know what? She's limping down the road because she hurt her leg.
But there's no trees right where she is either. Like right there, where is she gonna, you know, where would she fashion a walking stick from, you know? So.
And here we are, driving up to the stones.
And doesn't this look like it's in black and white?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
It does. It looks like it's in black and white. Yeah, exactly. Well, everything's kind of brown.
Yeah. And we go back to the sepia tones, right? Because they've done this before where the duller colors are in the,
I do have to say, I much prefer him with a beard and a mustache. He looks very like little Roger there.
Yep. Well, and the colluts or whatever they call those pants, they're
really not pants.
No. Do we want to call them short pants or long shorts? I'm not sure.
Let's call them short pants for the time, Mara.
Yeah. Yeah. And Roger and Fiona, they're such a sweet little pairing. She is so. I just love her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's fun, she's the one that he can talk to, though. Like she's not fazed by it. Oh, she went through stones. Oh, okay, yeah, I knew that. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, see, these look like a pair of cords that he like just cut
Hacked
off.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like I know Terry Dressbach took a lot of heat from Roger fans for making him look so dorky.
Okay, but hold on a second, though. If you look back, working class in that era, that's what they would have worn. And that cord outfit that he wore was tight in the legs and the buttocks.
Oh yeah. I know. Yeah. This is another thing.
I know. But that is exactly what someone would have worn, though. I actually looked it up because I'm like, there's just no way guys would dress like that, but they did.
I'm looking, but when he goes and you're looking at other people, I didn't see very many people with pants like that.
I'm surprised he didn't go get himself a kilt.
Well, see, and now we have this part where he goes, and there was another scene where he didn't and he had thought he saw his father because which is a whole different story. And Fiona ended up having to give him her engagement ring for another stone because he had ended up on the other side of the stone on fire. and he had to go back through again, like try again, because the stone had spit him out. And which is another cool part of the story, but of course allowing for time and everybody, there was so many people that were like, I would have rather seen that than watch Brianna eat a squished up peanut butter sandwich.
Yeah, but you really think about it, it really doesn't add anything to the story, right? This is showing her that she's got to hunker down for the night. She went all day without anything to eat. That adds to her story and her journey. Him getting spit back and forth isn't adding to the journey, right? So,
yeah, for sure.
Alrighty.
Yeah. And see, her making a walking stick also doesn't really change the fact that she's still hurt.
Yeah.
And she'd be limping. She'd be limping with a stick or without a stick.
Yeah.
And how long would it take her to find the right stick, to fashion it into something, to, like it would, sure. Sure, it might make her trek easier, but it would take her a hell of a lot longer.
Well, she just didn't have the time to sit and
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. And
it's a lot of stuff that people have to pick at, right?
Of course. But it's make believe. It's not reality. If we threw reality spin on everything, oh my God, we would be here all day picking apart everything.
Yeah, for sure.
So
for sure.
But I get what they're saying. Yeah, it would have been cool to see her with a walking stick, but then she wouldn't have had to been rescued, wouldn't have met Lear. So, everything happens for a reason, and we just have to put a little bit of faith.
Yep. Put a lot of faith in the writer. Because, and let's face it, they don't just throw this stuff together.
Yeah, exactly.
It takes a lot of thought, and I love how they did this.
Hi, Tobias.
I loved how they took her, passing out at the tree and,
Yeah,
him lifting her out of the car. I just loved it. I thought it was a beautiful transition.
I agree.
Mm,
So nice.
yeah.
Only it wasn't her daddy that
No,
picked her up here. It was
no.
Leary. Leghair.
Mhm.
It was Leghair.
Yep.
Isn't it funny? They aged her well. You know, yes, I know that they aged Jamie well, they aged Claire well. They also aged her well. She looks like she's had a hard life. You
Yep.
know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah.
Her hair isn't as beautified as it could be, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. She's really taken, she hasn't had the same advice. Like Claire didn't give her the same advice as she might have given Jamie, like eat your greens,
yeah,
brush your teeth, maintain, and
yeah,
not only that, but she was with abusive men and
yeah, exactly. Well, and she says that her pigeon tastes lovely.
Yep, she's like, this chicken is delicious.
This is the
Yeah,
best
that's
chicken I ever had.
uh,
Oh,
yeah.
thank you.
hmm Not chicken. Tastes like chicken. Everything tastes like chicken.
I don't want to go into that conversation, please. Oy,
Uh,
crazy.
uh,
And I love little Joni.
she is the sweetest, isn't she?
Can I ask a
Mm,
question?
What?
Just because I'm almost done uh, reading the Fiery Cross, does Joni come back at any point in Diana's
Well,
story?
in some stories she's in one of the side novels.
Oh, she's in a side novel.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, she is.
Okay,
Um,
I need to get through 8 before I can even think about reading any side novels yet. Oh my God. I don't know how
uh-huh.
all of you keep up. You're just amazing.
No, it was a matter of being in the game before all of this started.
Yeah, well, I was definitely
Mm,
not in the game.
No, because you didn't freaking listen to your sister.
You know,
Oh,
I
Stephen
have the
Cree.
signed Sassenach that you gave me just right on the wall in front of me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I love Stephen Cree. He
Yeah.
looks good as an old man too. He's
Yes, he
another one
does.
that they aged up, far
And
more
his
than they aged
face
up
looks
Jamie and
much
stuff.
thinner as
hmm
well. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I think they did that, on purpose too, because he, of course, lived a lot harder life. And
Yeah.
it's funny, she hears them arguing and
Yeah.
is also brought back to, you know, the
Yeah.
arguing at home with mother and father.
And kids don't want to hear that. They want to think of mom and dad are perfect, right? Even though
Right.
they do everything wrong,
hmm
that's not a part a kid wants to be a part of.
Right. Yeah.
And go on, Brianna, be nosy like your mama.
Yep.
Go find out what's going on,
For sure.
but don't put any clothes on or anything.
Blanket's good.
Yeah, exactly.
But they really have done a good job with, aging up Ian. And I know it was sad that we couldn't have Jenny in this episode because she was doing her play.
Yeah, that was sad.
Mm-hmm.
And then we don't even think she's coming back for any future episodes, is what
What it
I've been
sounds
hearing
like.
lately.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never know. Might change, but
Yeah. Well,
she is
she's done an interview recently that and she is in a very successful show called The Nevers.
yes.
It's aired a few times already and it's gotten really great reviews and she's fucking fabulous in it.
Of course she
Um,
is.
and and she's done a couple of interviews and they've mentioned it to her, asked her about it, and she was like, well, when they come back to Jenny, she's like a grandmother, and she goes, that's just
Yeah.
probably not what I'm looking for at this point in my
Exactly.
career.
Yeah.
And she said, never say never, but at the same time, I'm doing this right now, and this is where my passion lies. And so, I mean, and like she said, when they come back to Jenny, she is a grandmother and she is much older and she has been through a really difficult life. So
Yeah.
recasting Jenny wouldn't be such a stretch.
Well, and she also said too that they haven't reached out to her either at this point. So,
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so we'll see if maybe they just kind of eliminate her going on. I don't know. You never know what they decide to go forward with and what they don't. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The storyline does involve her, if they
yeah.
choose to go forward with how the
Mm.
books go. But they there's an awful lot of different ways they can go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I love that Brianna's now in the full Scottish garb. Like she's in warm wool clothes.
Right, in full period costume.
Yeah, exactly. I love
Mhm.
it. And
Yeah.
I love that Leary is being so nice to her,
Yeah. They're kind of twinning right now.
Right?
Mm.
Exactly.
Well, and see, but this shows us, though, right? This shows us that Leary is not a horrible human being. This shows us that she has a dark spot
Yeah.
for probably one person, and that one person is Claire.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
So she treats her daughters very well. She raised them well. She's had a very difficult life. She loved Jamie to a fault. And yes, it's to a fault. So and what did Murtaugh say about her all those years ago? That she would
She would
always be a
be a
girl.
girl. Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
So,
And I
and
can see that though. Like, yes, she's doing adult things and all that, but I think just her mindset,
yeah,
you know.
she remains very trivial, jealous, those things, but it's this anger that she has built up and this
Yeah.
resentment that she has built up that, but I think it's because she is a victim.
Yeah.
And some people remain victims until somebody pulls them out of that, and she just hasn't been able to be pulled out of it. I think I feel for Leary more than I hate her.
Well, and I think that's true when after the first time she got married. I think some people will say, "Ah, well, she was like that, before she got married, she was evil, but she was young."
Mm-hmm.
And made mistakes, and they were pretty evil, trying to have Claire killed and all, right?
But if people are really honest about it, when you're a teenager and you're really young, like you don't understand the consequences of your actions.
No. Yeah.
Like and that's not just saying you don't know right from wrong, because you do know right from wrong, but your brain is literally not formed.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I love how Joni and Brianna were having conversation about their dads, and they're talking about the same person, even though they don't know that.
Right. Yeah.
And I love how they keep flipping back to Frank, right?
And we see how Brianna has, how Sophie Skelton has grown Brianna's character.
Yeah.
Because you see how she's being this little petulant teenager in this part of her growth of Brianna.
Yeah.
And now she's kind of cluing in to what she was seeing there. This is the obituary of James Fraser and his wife, Claire.
Yeah. And had she read it, because she was waiting for him to tell her, because there was the page saying Dear Frank, and it mentioned everything in it, and then the copy of it.
Right.
So had she continued reading, would she have caught on to something? Right?
Yeah. Would have totally tuned in.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And this kind of shows their relationship as well a little bit,
Mhm.
right? She's not afraid to challenge him,
Yep.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
And he came so close to telling her.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And see, this is where we get the idea that Frank was completely aware that Claire was going back
Yeah.
through the stones, and that Brianna would in fact go.
Yeah.
And that's why he taught her how to shoot. And that's why he taught her how to ride. And that's why he taught her all the things that he taught her. So she would be able to survive and thrive in the environment that she was going back to.
Well, and I think he tried in the end to prevent that. He knew that Claire was going to go, and that's why he waited till Brianna graduated to ask for the divorce, and that maybe he could take Brianna with him while Claire goes to Jamie, because he knew she was going to go.
Yeah, but he knew Brianna was going to go too, because he found her name in history.
Yeah.
And that's why he prepared her.
Yeah.
Because he wanted her to be safe.
And maybe he thought he could change history by bringing her to England with him. Possibly. Just like, remember, Claire and Jamie thought that they maybe could change history as well. So,
well, you haven't read all the books, so.
No, what's that supposed to mean?
Nothing.
You old pig! Don't do shit like that to me. Wait until I ask the questions.
Sometimes I like just throwing shit at you.
Yeah, you do. Oh.
Especially when you say things that you think you already know. I like to put you back in your place a little bit.
No. I don't think I know. I just put out hypotheticals.
That's what I know mean.
People hate. But I'm sorry, my brain works that way. Yeah.
I love it. And see, she gets so cheesed. Like, she, and yeah. See, this is where he says, you'll understand what I'm talking about. And well, we know when she understands.
Yeah.
She's
and her hair's starting to get curly from the wet Scottish weather.
And figuring out all these extra clothes and stuffs.
Yeah, because it's just not a matter of getting dressed and going. There's like a whole process involved. And I love this, heating up the blankets. Keep your feet warm.
With the pan.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah. Put all the coals inside the pan and yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty ingenious, I think, for back then.
Well,
if your feet are warm, the rest of your body will be warm, right?
Yeah.
That's
I would have been snuggled all the way down to the bottom of the bed.
Right? It's like put 4 or 5 of those in there for me. Oh, could you imagine getting into a nice warm bed? Guess that's what heating blankets are for now, right?
Yeah,
but just not the same. Not the same.
I think it would be better than a pan. People say, oh, that's so cool. That's so nice. I wish we had those. No, I think technology has given us a much better life. Thank you very much.
I think it's given us an easier life. I still think if you were to put that in the bed, it would warm the mattress.
No, it would warm that one spot.
No.
Yeah.
No, because no, it wouldn't warm that one spot, but it would warm the bottom of the bed. It wouldn't warm the whole bed, no.
Because the beds were made out of like hay and
feathers,
shit like that. You're lucky if you didn't start it on fire.
Why do you think that they bed down animals with hay? Because it's warm and it holds the heat.
And because there's nothing else.
Feathers. Their beds were made of feathers.
Good. Yeah, and they're pokey.
Yes.
Ouch.
I know. I remember I used to have a feather pillow.
I hate
that. A real feather pillow.
Yeah, I know.
Thanks. It was heavy.
Yeah, I know.
Because like I used to smack you across the side of the head with it.
Yeah,
sorry about that. I know you do.
Barely.
Sophie looks so tiny there.
She is bitty. She
Mhm.
like she is wafy. Like she has
But she's taller than Leary even.
she
And
has
Sophie's,
the tiniest waist.
yeah,
Like so yeah, but strong. Like
yeah.
incredibly strong.
Well, she used to be a dancer too, so,
I
you
think she
know,
still is.
yeah. Well,
Like I
I
think
think
she
so.
still dances. Yeah.
I think I've seen a couple of tweets or Instagram or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Ballet, she just whoop right up on her toes, started doing her little exercises.
Yeah. So
I
this
like
is
that.
nice.
Yeah, that she's telling this story from the Bible.
See, it shows, Leary being sweet,
Yeah,
kind, loving, human.
yeah.
And I know people hate when they show that because
I
it,
know.
goes against their perception of her. And that's the only reason why they don't like her being shown that way.
Yeah.
Uh, and here's Roger.
Well, and you can tell.
He looks like a tall dwarf in that outfit.
But still, it's been a few days. It hasn't been longer than a few days because he's starting to get scruff already on his beard, right? Remember, he was like baby butt wipe on his
baby butt wipe.
baby butt white.
I have a feeling though, Richard Rankin gets that kind of stubble after about 15 minutes.
15 minutes. Yeah. I agree too.
And here's our Stephen Bonnet. Son of a bonnet, as I like to call him.
Yeah, exactly.
Go,
Roger. Don't take no for an answer.
Trying to get a job on the ships.
Yeah, exactly. Trying to get to North Carolina.
Yep. See, I'm looking around. People have pants tucked into boots.
Yeah, but that's smart of him to look at his hands. Can tell if he's got calluses and cuts, if he has man working hands.
But he's more of a
writer.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Here, I'm gonna lift this keg. Let's see what I can do.
Yeah, exactly.
Look, I can lift stuff. Look,
I can lift stuff
I'm
too,
lifting
man.
stuff.
Hi ho, hi ho, hi ho,
hi ho, hi ho,
hi ho.
Hi.
But it reminds me of a dwarf.
That's what I just said. I just said that.
That's why I said hi ho, hi.
Yeah, but I said that like 3 minutes ago.
Hi ho.
Oh my God, hi ho. Yeah, ho ho. Roger McKenzie. Well, at least he gave him a break. It's okay.
Yeah.
That son of a bonnet, I tell you. He's this horrible human being.
Yeah. But still,
and he has this freaking charm and swagger that you just
I know,
me freaking angry. And Ed Speleers, that's how you say it. Speleers is a amazing human being. Like, he is such a wonderful man.
Well, he's an avid runner, and you can always see on his Twitter that he posts videos of him running in the countryside, and it's so cool.
On his Instagram, he doesn't have Twitter.
Oh yeah, Instagram. Sorry.
Yeah. But he's I had the opportunity to meet him in Vancouver and shared a few very wonderful moments with him and surprising moments with him. I talked about it in the Bootlanders blog. You can go back and check out the archives if you want to read about it. But it was pretty life-changing for me, actually.
And you actually did your interview with him after you went to Outlandish Vancouver.
No, I didn't do
Did
an
you?
interview with him.
Oh, no, it
No.
was just about your experience
Yeah,
with
it was just my experience. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, you got to go back and read it. It's really good.
Mm-hmm. I really, it was pretty poignant in my life.
Yeah.
Mm.
I wonder
Now
if
here the ball drops.
yeah.
They're talking about her mom.
Yeah.
So here we go from Leary being a great hostess with the mostest to the hostess with written all over.
Well, you can even tell in her face, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Well,
I hate that
Brianna
she
can
made up
sense it.
this. She made up this crappy little story about
Mhm.
him not loving her, and
Yeah.
I don't know what she was, to gain from that.
But that's how she always played that game, right? It was always underhanded
exactly.
and
Yeah, I love that they keep going back to Frank every time. They talk about Jamie, Dad, or whatever. They always bring Frank back in.
It was like the writers knew if we're gonna bring back Leary, this is the time to bring back Frank, because those fans are already going to be pissed off at us, so we might as well give them a double dose.
Exactly. But you got to remember, she's now stuck, right? Because the only father she has ever known, the only dad, has been Frank, and he is a part of her entire history. And now she's going forward to her real father, who she's never met, never seen a picture of. But of course, when she says dad, she still thinks of him. That's her father, right?
Yep, for sure. And that's part of the clincher as well, because she's also trying to formulate in her mind, this other man.
Yeah.
And
I could go with a scone with jam on it. Yum,
clotted cream.
yum, 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 yum.
And of course, we have debates over whether the jam or the cream goes first.
Oh, good heavens. Is that a debate? I don't know the answer to that.
It's a debate. I don't know either, and I'm not going to start, because people in Scotland or England are very particular about which goes first.
Okay, well, power to you. I'll just, okay. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cut my scone in half, and on one side I'm going to put the cream, and on the other side I'm going to put the jam. Ha! There you go.
That's what you do. Well, I have a double toilet paper roll in my bathroom, and one roll of toilet paper goes over top, and one roll of toilet paper goes underneath to satisfy anybody that comes to my bathroom. They have either or to choose from.
There you go. See? There you go.
And then I have a third that goes the right way. And I'm not saying which way because people are assholes.
Yeah. Isn't it funny, though? Isn't it just funny how we have to be so critical of everything, damn thing? Does it matter?
No.
Really? In the whole scope of anything?
Nope.
If you're pissed off because someone's roll of toilet paper isn't going the way you think about it, that you think it should be, I'm sorry.
I love
in the wrong house.
I love how my sister says toilet paper. I love how she
Toilet
says
paper.
toilet. Yeah, when you're saying it fast, you say toilet.
Toilet paper.
You say toilet. Toilet. And here we go.
Here the lies. People talk about her at Lollybrock. And
She's a crazy lady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate that she goes on with this fancy little story and then just instantly, boom, then all hell breaks loose. You know what? Just let hell break loose to begin with. Don't be on your little lies.
This is about my money, honey.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And Brianna shouldn't be so trusting. Like, zip it.
Uh-huh.
I know this sounds strange, but I know that they're going to be in trouble.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Jeez.
Well, this just gives, Leary another reason to mistrust her, because all of a sudden, oh, you're a witch like your mother, shit.
Yeah, exactly.
uh, yeah. Yeah.
That's funny.
But see, but it also, if we go into, Leary's mindset, it
Yeah.
would it would seem very strange that all of a sudden the daughter of Jamie and Claire end up on the road to her house, and but
Well, and I'm surprised that Claire never mentioned Leary's name. How Brianna didn't know,
mhm.
You think that she would have remembered the name had her mom ever said her name.
Yeah, I think she, but I don't know if she would have said her name as much as a girl, or a girl at the castle, a woman at the castle. Like, why bother
Yeah.
saying her name? Because her name really wouldn't make any difference, because she would never meet her. Like, as far as Claire's concerned, she's never going to go there. Like, this girl is inconsequential.
Yeah, but really wasn't, because she tried to have her killed, right?
Yeah,
And
but
put an ill wish under her bed.
yeah, but still, the name is inconsequential. Like, her actual name doesn't really matter.
But
So
she knew Ian, she knew Jenny, like she
yeah, they're
knew
family,
their names. Yeah.
right? They're
Yeah.
family. So that's different. That's
Yeah.
like giving a family tree or a lineage. Leary was just a girl,
Yeah,
a crazy
exactly.
person, right? When you give somebody a name, you're giving them validation. So she probably just called her the crazy bitch or something like that. But I know that if I was talking about her, that's probably what I'd call her.
Yeah.
I would give her some sort of nickname or some sort of, you know,
Yeah.
that's what
Oh,
I would assume.
and then this is where this
Yeah,
is just shortly before
he dies.
Frank dies.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Come on, get in the car.
So sad. And he
Mm-hmm.
talked to before he died, right?
Yeah.
I think
Mm-hmm.
he's trying to change the future at this point, and unfortunately, it doesn't go his way. I wonder. No, because he's living in that time. Never mind.
Yeah, it's really interesting because Frank, like we said, is a historian, right?
Yeah.
So, and a lot of people forget that he was also MI6 in
Exactly.
in the British Army.
Yeah.
So he was intelligence. So he also has a lot of connections. So people have to
Exactly.
remember that
Yeah.
when thinking about his story and where he was going back to. So it's pretty cool. But she's absolutely devastated, even though she knows that her parents, weren't really in love.
Yeah.
She's crushed, thinking that they're going to get a divorce and that
Right.
he's moving away and that he wants her to go with him. Like, even though she doesn't have, like, she still loves her mother. Everybody was saying that, because they, weren't close, that just because you're a daddy's girl and
Yeah.
um not as close to your mother doesn't mean you don't have a connection to her. you know
Exactly. Exactly. And her whole world is coming crumbling. Yes, she
Mhm.
knows they don't have the most perfect relationship. Yes, she knows they argue, but they're still a family,
Mhm.
right? So she doesn't understand why they want to break this family.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
still love her. She still loves you. You just fight. You don't always get along, but you love each other. This
Mhm.
makes no sense,
Yeah, and
right?
it
And it's
doesn't
the
make any
60s.
sense.
It's
Yeah.
the 60s. You didn't just divorce.
And it doesn't make sense to somebody that you have sheltered from this their whole
Mhm.
life. So that's what really messes with kids when parents are like, well, you should have known. Like, this is when parents stay together for the kids until the kids are old enough that they can leave. They honestly don't do those kids any
No,
service.
it's a big mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Why do that? Why bring a child up
Mm-hmm.
in unhappiness when they can see happiness instead?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe they've got two sets of parents, but
Yeah.
everybody's happy and the
Mm-hmm.
child is happy. You know what I
Right.
mean? That
Exactly.
is a better outcome for the child.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
Because it's still heartbreaking when the parents get divorced and they're
of
adults. Like,
course. Yeah,
it's still painful.
it is.
And Sophie did a really great job in that moment, and I love this where she's
Yeah,
talking to him at the grave before she leaves.
yeah.
Mm. This was a really beautiful moment. Mm.
You know, and she knows that he would have been supportive of her, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But again, she blames herself, but she shouldn't. That's not, even if she would have said yes, he still would have drove away, and still, you know, it still would have happened.
Uh-huh. And I like that too. I think it was a double entendre in the way where she
Yeah.
said soldier on,
Yeah.
and that's something that Claire
Yes.
always would, embed in her,
Yeah.
vernacular with Jamie.
Yeah.
Mm.
So this played out a little bit differently as well, because Buck was on the boat in the book.
Right.
Yeah.
He was
And he asked him to, protect the baby and his wife.
it's they played it out quite differently.
Yeah.
And Buck McKenzie is a descendant.
Yeah.
So we've got Roger on the boat, and this is Morag
Yeah.
McKenzie,
And Jemmy.
who is his what
Descendant.
great grandma or something
Yeah.
like that, like 5 times over or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Because her husband is the child of Galus and Dougal Mackenzie.
And Dougal. Yeah.
Yeah. This is kind of creepy for me.
Yeah.
When he holds the baby. Yeah, I don't know. I just and you can tell, like, she feels it too, right? Like, look at her face.
Yep. Give me the baby back, please.
But a lot of people did that back then when the baby was teething or whatever, rub a little bit of alcohol on the gums.
Yeah. But not a filthy, well, yeah, they would too, I suppose. The filthy, nasty finger of his.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
that would be so cool to be on a boat like that and then all of a sudden feel the whales rubbing.
Yep.
That'd be so weird. Ugh.
And terrifying.
Oh yeah, terrifying, but in a cool kind of terrifying way.
Well, I don't imagine for the people on the boat, because most of them wouldn't even know what a fucking whale was.
Yeah. True that.
Yeah, rubbing the barnacles off of themselves.
Yeah, well, if there's no rocks around, they got to do it somewhere. Right?
Yeah. And see, it was a whole different kind of relationship with Roger and Morag, and it was a little weird, if you ask me, in the book,
Well, and especially when you get to the like the fiery cross part, that was just like, why did it take that direction? That doesn't make any sense to me. So, but I won't say anything because we're not there yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yes, I feel it's the sick we've got.
But that's the thing; it's so true. On a boat, when you're out in the middle of the ocean for 2.5 months, if people get sick, everybody does.
Yep.
ideally you don't want to throw people overboard, but they didn't know what to do back then.
Oh, they knew what to do. They throw them overboard.
Out the window they go.
Yeah. But how cold Stephen Bonnet is, right? How cold and calculating is. Like, just twink.
Yeah.
Yeet.
Exactly, right? There goes mama. 2 at the price of 1.
Uh-huh. Everybody's yeeting themselves off the boat.
I'm surprised that Bonnet didn't push him off.
Right.
Because what would be his purpose to keep him?
Mm-hmm.
Because he's now undermining what he's doing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I can't see, there's no way Bonnet would let anybody yell at him like that. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's true, though. I'm surprised that he just didn't boot him out the window.
Yeah.
Because he's questioning his authority. That's called treason.
Yeah.
Right?
But I also think that Bonnet likes playing with Roger.
Yeah, I
think he sees him kind of like a rabid rat, and he's like, he's like the cat that's in control of all the canaries, and Roger's like this little rabbit rat that he gets to kick around, and I think he enjoys it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we've got everybody down in the hold, and anybody that's sick is getting turfed. And
well, and you know what a teething baby looks like, right?
Yeah,
they get red cheeks. Sometimes they get blisters on their cheeks. So poor Jemmy, poor baby.
Booba. Yeah. And Morag, she is just, she's a beautiful woman.
Yeah. And well, they're not blood related because her husband is the one that's blood related to Roger.
Right.
No, I just wanted to keep calling him Jemmy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Aww. Somebody probably pinched the baby to make him cry. I hate that.
Or maybe he's just crying.
Yeah, hopefully.
Maybe Sam was around.
Probably picked him up. Poor Sam. Poor Sam just does not have that baby touch.
That's all right.
Guy.
It's normal.
Oh, there we go. Oh, she got it open, but thank goodness for Joni.
Yeah. Yeah.
But she's ready, good for her. She's not fearful.
Yeah. She looks so sweet with a little bony tone.
And look at her. The fact that she was able to do that and not get caught, good for her. I love that little girl. She's so cute.
Yeah. And on the way to Lollybrock. Mm-hmm.
And I love how Ian comes out in the conversation. It's Jamie Fraser's daughter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It's not your fault. Your mother's a witch.
I love that. That's hilarious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Too funny.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's never mother's fault. He's like, oh.
And that just gives me goosebumps. Just the fact that it's said out loud in Scotland and no one knows that he has any children at all. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then it's just like, when they look at her, they're like, yep.
Exactly.
I get it. I see it. Mm-hmm. And you can see it.
Yeah, you can. Absolutely. And I love that he does everything he can to get her there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Look at that thing. It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the carvings and everything.
Yeah. Yeah, the interior of Lollybrock was gorgeous. I loved how John Gary Steele just made it beautiful.
Someone is turning it into not like a brewery. Yeah, kind of like
distillery.
a brewery. Distillery, that's it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, they
Too
purchased
bad. Could you imagine if someone really had the money and changed that into a bed and breakfast? Wouldn't we all go? I'd go. I'd go and stay for a month pretending that I was Claire sitting in the window. Oh, you got that right all day long.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But you
I hope it's got uh what is it called? Eek.
wouldn't it be cool if Sam actually owned the distillery and he was creating Sassenach whiskey out of it? That would be even more cool.
It would.
Yeah.
What I hope that it's listed though, so they can't
Mhm.
change the exterior.
I hope so. And normally historical sites and that they don't, but they can refurbish the inside.
Well, it depends on what the listing is. Like
Oh, yeah.
they have different grade listings.
Yeah.
So yeah, so hopefully it is. Like hopefully it's got some sort of listing on it.
Ugh, I hate his games
Oh.
with this, right? And he's got to tell you the whole story, leave
Mhm.
you sitting in limbo for as long as he wants, right?
Let's go, son of a bonnet.
Yeah,
So he finds
exactly.
he finds out that Roger's been hiding her and the baby.
I don't understand why he says, he's taking up rations, but she's already on the boat. She's already slated for rations. He's just bringing it to her.
Mhm.
So she's not using extra. He's not taking from anybody else. You know what I mean?
Unless, of course, he figures that he would have thrown her overboard because,
Yeah, that's true.
mm,
Yeah.
yeah, we're gonna flip if you live or die. And it's not her.
Would that would just be the easy way in life, right? Just take a coin. Do I go? Don't I go? Okay, that's done.
Yeah.
Super
duper easy, guys.
No drama though, right?
No.
It is or it isn't.
Yeah. Yeah. Leave it to luck. Lady luck. That's what Stephen Bonnet is all about.
Yeah.
He lives and dies by it.
Yeah, and he's just got to tell you the whole damn story.
Oh, of course.
Why he uses the coin, right? He could just do the coin, but no. He's going to give you some background on the thing.
For sure.
But he's honest. He's honest in this moment when he's telling the story. It's not a BS story. It's an actual story.
For sure. And it's something that they used to do back then. They used to, when they were building a building, they used to sacrifice somebody and put them in the foundation.
Okay, who doesn't want to build any buildings? I don't. That's not going to be my profession. Thank you.
They don't do it anymore, I hope.
Well, even back then, if you knew that there was a possibility that you would be a sacrifice because you built a building, would you be a builder?
No. I don't think they always used to build it. I don't think they used the builders all the time because they were using Slow Joey or whatever his name was. And
Daft Joey.
Yeah. And which is super sad, but at the same time,
why didn't they call in sick? Why work until that last
daft.
Day? Yeah. Yikes.
Yeah, and it's like, I'm not gonna kill her. I'm gonna kill you, buddy.
Yeah. Exactly.
All the rings, and see, that's another thing that just gives you the shivers because you know how he gets those rings.
Exactly.
Right? So
exactly. They're not his.
No, they're not his. He's stolen, he's raped, he's,
pillaged, the whole bit.
And he doesn't see it that way. He sees he's earned them.
Yeah.
Which makes you just want to vomit even more.
Yeah, exactly.
And here we are back at the docks with Brianna.
She looks so good in that coat, doesn't she?
It's her mama's coat.
I know, but she looks good with it.
She does. Look how tiny her waist is. And she's got
layers
on, and her waist still looks like it's so itty bitty. And I love how they've done this. Love.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Ian's brought her quickly.
Yeah.
And no waste of time at Lollybrock, which of course upset a lot of people because they thought she should have stayed at Lollybrock for a while, got to know her family, and but again,
Yeah.
this story circles around Jamie and Claire. The
Yeah.
faster they can get her there, the better.
Well, she's trying to save their life because she doesn't know when they're going to die, right?
Yep.
So she is just trying to get there as fast as she can.
Exactly.
So. Oh, and this is where
Mr. Wemyss.
Lizzie.
Here's Mr. Wemyss. And
Weems.
Well, I call him Wemyss.
But
I
his
know it's
last name
Weems.
Weems. Yeah.
I know. Wemyss. That's how it's spelled. I'm a I hooked on phonics worked for me.
Yeah. It did. It truly did. Yeah.
Yeah. And she's like, well, don't let him have her. She's like, I can't help it. He'll buy her. Like, I literally cannot help this.
Well,
he's gonna buy my daughter.
Well, and he's
Lizzie.
indentured. He's
Yep.
indentured,
Exactly.
so is his daughter. So, you know, save her. Save her.
Caitlin O'Ryan.
Yeah.
Love her. Love
Such
her.
a sweet soul.
Love her so much.
She's so into skateboarding now, eh?
You got to follow her on Instagram.
Yeah.
You have to, like, she is she's got so much passion. She has so much, like, she's a fireball. Like, she takes no shit. She is, and I was so sad to see how much hate and vitriol she took when she first got this role, because she doesn't fit what description Diana wrote for her or whatever. She embodies this Lizzie so well, as far as I'm concerned. I read the books 20 years ago, and I can't tell you how much I love Caitlin O'Ryan as Lizzie. I think she has done a brilliant job. And she looks desolate and so sad. Look at her eyes.
I know.
Like,
she's so
Sad.
innocent. I know. It's
it's for her father, and now
I love this part. Sees her dad, right?
It gives me goosebumps every time.
And remember, on the ship's manifest, it says Brianna Randall. So I bet you that's where he found out that she goes.
Exactly.
Aww, look.
Yeah.
I know you're going to find your real dad, but I love you.
I got goosebumps.
Oh, I know, me too. Oh, and he's gone.
Beautiful.
But he's not gone. He's still with you.
Always.
Always.
And I love the smile.
Yeah.
As she takes a deep breath and, okay, I got this.
Yeah.
I got it.
But you know what? Now at least she has a companion, which is good, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not, and see, Lizzie's supposed to be her maid, taking care of her. And it becomes this, people say, well, she's taking care of Lizzie. And I don't think it's that way. I think it's it becomes a real friendship, a real bond, and them trying to take care of one another.
Absolutely.
And, I love the friendship that Lizzie and Brianna ended up having together. And it's just one of those things that, adds to the story. Yeah,
I 100% agree.
Sissues and tissues.
And we're back for more of these little stories that we do.
I like the little stories that we do because they're not our stories, they're somebody else's stories.
I know, we talk about ourselves a lot.
Yeah, sorry.
No, we're not.
No, because that's why we do the podcast.
It is.
Alrighty, so this one, it goes as such. So when I was little, I used to be scared to death of our house at night. And whenever I woke up and had to pee, I would wake up my older sister and tell her, even if she was completely asleep. She always complained, but she also always went with me to the bathroom and talked to me through the door so I wouldn't be scared. So this is from Irene on thoughtcatalog.com.
Oh, that's so sweet.
That is sweet. Nobody ever me to the bathroom.
Well, because Wanda didn't want to get up out of bed and go with you.
I wasn't afraid of the bathroom. I
You
was
were afraid of
afraid of my
dark.
closet.
You were afraid of the dark.
Afraid of the dark, but it stemmed from when we lived in a really old farmhouse, and it used to have those kind of like pull closed closets, the kinds that fold up into
Oh, the
themselves.
shuttery ones.
I can't remember what the name is, but I remember I used to close it when I went to bed, and every morning when I woke up it would always be halfway open or full open, and I always thought there were freaking ghosts in the room.
Mm-hmm. But it was never ghosts.
No, it wasn't. But you know what? That was a cute little story. So guys, we want to hear more of your sissues and tissues. So send us your stories. Visit us on our website at sissues.ca, or you can send us an email at sisters@sissues.ca, or visit us on social media, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter.
Tweet, 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 tweet.